Good evening, this is Chuck W3ON. I'm operating as W3OC net control for the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club net. This radio net meets every Monday here at 8 p.m. on the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club repeater system, operating on 147.12 and 442.250 megahertz repeater systems, and also on Echolink. Membership in the Two Rivers ARC is not required to check into this net, as all radio amateurs are welcome. To like information about the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club, you can write to us at P.O. Box 225, Green Hawk, PA, zip code 15047. We're also on the Internet's World Wide Web at https://trarc.org, trarc.org, and also up on Facebook. Radio Club meetings are held on the third Tuesday of every month except in December, starting at 7 p.m. at the Blaine Hill Volunteer Fire Department Social Hall, 409 Oxford Avenue, Elizabeth, PA. Before I open this set for checkage, there's an emergency or priority traffic at this time. Does anyone have a listing of silent keys? Any radio amateurs who recently passed away? I haven't heard of any lately. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a quick standby here. Let's see, is there anybody on Echolink? If you're on Echolink, you're going to have to wait about a second or so, but you can check in through Echolink if you're on Echolink. It's W3OC.
WCO03, W3OC, this is Kilo Charlie 3 Zulu India X-Ray. Kilo Charlie 3 Zulu India X-Ray. Jeff from Irwin.
I got Kilo Charlie 3 Zulu India X-Ray up on Echolink. Anybody else on Echolink? Okay, all right. Now I'm looking for stations are operating. I'm looking for stations from the board of directors wish to check in.
W3OC. Please recognize November 3, Juliet Hotel Bravo, portable, out here in Pleasant Hills, Jeff. Also with me is Kilo Bravo 3, Whiskey Papa. Good evening to everyone on the net. No traffic.
Net control. Net control. Recognize Kilo 3 Charlie Romeo Oscar John Baldwin. No comments. No traffic.
Net control. Here I got November 3 Juliet Hotel Bravo, portable. Excuse me. And Kilo Bravo 3 Whiskey Papa portable, and Kilo 3 Charlie Radio Oscar. Any other members of the board of directors wishing to check in?
Net control. Please recognize Kilo Charlie 3 Uniform November Echo, Mike in North Huntington.
Okay, Kilo Charlie 3 Uniform November Echo. Anybody else from the board of directors? None heard. All right. Okay, now I'm looking for stations who are operating mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County.
W3OC. Please welcome Alpha 3 Mike Romeo, AA3MR. Name is Walt. Clerton Works, Clerton, PA. Good evening to you, Chuck. Everybody on the net, no comments. Hope everyone's staying warm tonight.
W3OC. There is Kilo Bravo 3 Delta Victor Delta 8 off from Irwin, Westmoreland County. Good evening, Chuck. Everybody on the net tonight. No further comments.
W3OC. W3OC, here's Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, Dan, Beaver County. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net.
you, Norman Penn, Westmoreland County. Good evening, Chuck. Have a good evening.
Okay, I got a double in there, so let me stop here for a second. I got Alpha 3 Mike Radio, Kilo Bravo 3 Delta Victor Delta. Excuse me, Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Victor Sierra Papa. November 3 Tango Alpha Uniform. And there was someone else in there was doubling. Who was that? Try again.
W3OC. W3OC, this is November 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie, Antonio Portable, here in Pittsburgh. Good evening, Chuck, and those on the net. I'm no traffic.
W3OC. Kilo Charlie 3, Victor, Juliet, Quebec, Howard, Connersville, Fayette County.
W3OC, this is Kilo Alpha 3, Echo Kilo Oscar, Sevian, O'Hara Township. Good evening to the net, no traffic.
Okay, thank you. That time, let's see, I got, where's the one I missed? Kilo Charlie 3, Victor, Juliet, Quebec. November 3 Tango Alpha Uniform. November 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie Portable. And Kilo Alpha 3 Echo Kilo Oscar. Anybody else mobile portable or outside of Allegheny County?
W3OC, please recognize Kilo Charlie 3, Victor Yankee Mike, west from Jefferson Hills, no traffic.
W3OC. Please recognize November 3 Alpha Bravo Alpha N3 ABA, John Dyer, Shire Oaks, Washington County. No comments. Good evening to that.
W3OC. W3OC, please recognize November 3 Sierra Bravo Kilo, Sean from Ligonier, Pennsylvania, Westmoreland County. No comment.
W3OC. As Kilo Delta 3 Alpha Mike Lee, Foxtrot.
Thank you. Let's see, that time I got November 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie Portable, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Echo, Kilo Alpha 3 Echo Kilo Oscar, Kilo Charlie 3 Victor Yankee Mexico, November 3 Alpha Bravo Alpha, November 3 Sugar Bravo, I did not get the last letter, and Hotel Delta 3 Alpha Mexico Foxtrot. N3 Sugar Bravo, what's the last letter of your call?
November 3 Sierra Bravo Kilo, N3 SDK.
Okay, got it. November 3 Sugar Bravo Kilo. Okay, thank you. Anybody else mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County?
W3OC. Please copy Kilo Alpha 3 Foxtrot Whiskey Quebec, Jeff in Greensburg. Good evening, everyone.
Kilo Alpha 3 Fox Whiskey Quebec. All righty, okay, let's up it up for general checkers. Anyone else has to check that? That's up, call now.
W3OC, Whiskey Alpha 3 India Oscar Uniform, Kilo in.
W3OC. W3OC, please copy Whiskey 3 Sierra Hotel Foxtrot. Steve on the frozen hilltop in Pitcairn. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone on the net.
W3OC. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Kilo Sierra Papa, Jim in Carnegie.
W3OC. 03 Hotel India Romeo, Merle and Elizabeth Township.
W3OC. CNET Control, please copy Kilo Charlie 3 India Romeo Golf, Ed McKeesport. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone on the net.
Okay, here's what I got so far. Whiskey America 3 India Oscar uniform, Whiskey 3 Sierra Hotel Fox, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Sugar Papa, Kilo 3 Hotel India Radio, and a Kilo Charlie 3. You have very low audio. Try again, please.
Net control, please recognize Kilo Charlie 3 India Romeo Golf, Ed and McKeesport. Good evening, Chuck.
Kilo Charlie 3 India Radio Golf. Anybody else, please? All right, we'll take a stop there. Thank you all for taking the time to check us on this nice cold evening outside. I hope nobody's had any icicles hanging off anything. Hopefully that's always a pain at this time of the year. Nice cold night. Let's see. We got a bunch of stuff to announce tonight, of course, as usual. Here's a listing of some of the Two Rivers general activities we have that pretty much are in there all the time. We have 4 radio nets that meet each week on different bands. Of course, we have this one on Monday nights. On Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m., we have the Two Rivers ARC GapNet that meets on this repeater system and also on Echolink. That's usually hosted by Steve, W3 Sugar Hotel Fox, who's on with us this evening. He's usually the moderator over there. On Thursday nights, we have the 10-meter version of the GapNet. Meets on at 8 o'clock p.m. on frequency 28460 megahertz, or kilohertz, I should say, 28460 kilohertz at 8 o'clock. And then on Friday nights at 6 p.m., we have another version of the GapNet that meets on 40 meters at 6 p.m. local time. Usually around 7215 kilohertz on the 40 meter band. Sometimes we're up or down frequency a little bit, depending on band activity, that's for sure. So you're welcome to join us for any of these events. You don't have to be a club member for that. Anybody's welcome to join. We also have other events during the course of the month. Of course, we have a regular club meeting on the third Tuesday of each month. The January meeting will be coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. up at the Blaine Hill Volunteer Fire Department at 7 p.m. at the Blaine Hill Volunteer Fire Department, 409 Oxford Avenue, Elizabeth, PA. It's up on the big hill up there. I believe we have a guest speaker scheduled. I understand Bob Minty, NU3Q, the ARES coordinator, is scheduled to be with us in some form or another. So besides the business meeting, of course, we normally have on the third Tuesday. We also have a social gathering on the second Thursday of each month at 7 p.m. We have the Operations Night, it's called, where we get together and amateur radio operators, including our club members, can operate on HF. We get you some exposure with HF using the antenna system we have installed at the site up there. The location is the Lincoln Borough Volunteer Fire Department Social Hall, 4321 Liberty Way in Elizabeth, PA. So you're welcome to come out there for that. We have the Two Rivers Ham Fest. No, I'm sorry, wrong. We also have on Saturday, on the second Saturday of each month, we have the Two Rivers ARC Hampton X Breakfast. That's usually held at a local restaurant. Starts at 9:30 a.m. Currently, it's being held at the Rock Run Inn at Butler's Golf Course over there on Rock. I think it's called. I think the Rock Run Road. I think it's called. In Elizabeth, PA. It's right off of Route 48 or 48 South. Unless you're coming up north, it'd be 48 North. But it's from McKeesport. It's 48. What we call Route 48 South. It's right up on the side road. Welcome to join us for that. So we have quite a bit of activities for that. Of course, we have the Ham Fest once a year. Let's see, where's the flyer? I get it right here. The flyer, by the way, is on our website right now, trarc.org. The Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club Ham Fest, 53rd Annual Amateur Radio / Computer Show, Sunday, April the 6th, 8 a.m. to noon, Lincoln Borough Volunteer Fire Department, number 184, that's what they call it, in the Social Hall, 4312 Liberty Way, Elizabeth, PA. We'll have directions on this repeater system. Mobile check-in prize will also be awarded and must be present to win. Main prize list has already been announced. The Zugu G90 HF 20-watt transceiver plus battery or cash. Yaesu FTM 500D mobile transceiver or cash. A Yaesu FT70 DR dual band digital handheld or cash, and a portable generator, plus other things not announced yet. So that's coming up. Advanced tickets will be available to the public and club members at significant savings. Our first chance at that will be at the club meeting. I don't know about the club meeting, but especially we'll be at the Wash Fest coming up in late February. Give you that information on that. You can also order tickets. You can order them and look at our website, TRARC.org, for information. We're going to have indoor. It's going to be an indoor-outdoor ham fest, so we have room for, I don't know, I'm not sure how many tables we can put in there, probably quite a few. Plus, we're going to have outdoor tailgating. First time in a long time for that. Exhibitors who want to attend for that should fill out a form you can find on our website, TRARC.org, and mail it to us or send it by email. The contact persons are John, Kilo 3 Charlie Radio Oscar. He's HamFest Chairman, 412-951-1332, 412-951-1332, or our assistant, Bill KB3WP at 412-260-5699, 412-260-5699. You can do HamFest. You can email to HamFest, all one word, at TRARC.org. HamFest at TRARC.org. We're going to have amateur radio exam testing available. If you want to sign up for that, you should contact the coordinator, Mike Kilo Victor 3 Lima, at 412-751-9657. This phone number, 412-751-9657. Leave a message if you don't answer. You can do email to Kilo Victor 3 Lima at yahoo.com. I see that's what they have listed here. We're going to have food available. It's an ARL section HamFest. So that's coming up on Sunday, April the 6th. This is a new location for us at the Volunteer Fire Department, and I encourage you to come on up there for that. Okay. See what's on the regular calendar that I can find. This weekend, the 25th and 26th, is the Winter Field Day. That's a nationwide operation. Two Rivers will be operating that, as well as some of the other local radio clubs. We'll be using the Lincoln Borough Volunteer Fire Department for that. It starts at, I think, 11 a.m. on Saturday. Club members are asked to be there around 8 for setup, so that we can get a couple of antennas set up that we normally don't have available at that site. There will be food and soft drinks available during the course of that event. It is a 30-hour contest. It runs 2 days, 25th and the 26th of January. Okay. All right. February 23rd is Wash Fest. Is the Wash Association of South Hills Ham Fest at the Home Building in South Park, 3735 Buffalo Drive in South Park Township, Pennsylvania, or South Park, PA. A lot of their flyers up on their website, n3sh.org. If you want more information, I believe they have exams and all that stuff. That's the first Ham Fest here in the immediate area, and that's coming up on February 23rd, so it's about a month away. Okay, the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Exams sessions, I think they just announced the exam dates. The next one, I believe, is March the 11th. That'll be at McKeesport High School, 6:30 p.m. That's Eden Park Boulevard, McKeesport, Pennsylvania. We will have exams at the Ham Fest also. I gave you all that information. The Two Rivers Club will be sponsoring radio classes, technician class, license exams, or classes and exams from April 17th through May the 22nd. They're 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 6 sessions, Lincoln Borough Volunteer Fire Department, Social Hall, Liberty Way, Elizabeth, PA. More information to be announced. that's kind of what I see on the list here. Okay, that's what I got as far as general announcements. I don't think I've missed anything. I believe there's a 160-meter contest coming up this weekend also on the HF band. I don't have more information. I think it's an ARL event, I believe. So a lot of folks participate in that. So I might take a look and listen to that kind of stuff. DX-wise, the ARL DX bulletin that came out on the 16th. Let's see what's highlighted on here. Singapore, 9 Victor 1 Oscar Lima, sideband and digital mode FT8 and FT4. He's going to be on the air until January 20th. That's today. So that will be over. The Gambia, that's in Africa. Until mid-March. Madeira Islands, I think that's off the in the Mediterranean, off the coast of Spain. Antarctica, is operating from the German research station at Neumayer, Neumayer. That's also an island on the air called AN0. So that's one that's cooperating. Marquesas DX Group, DX operation is still in operation. Call sign Tango X-Ray 7 net in November on the H8 bands. And if you're on satellite, they're going to be calling. You can call sign Tango X-Ray 7 Mexico Alpha Sugar. A 70-meter satellite and 23 centimeter EME. That's Earth, Moon, Earth. Let's see, Cameroon. Call sign Tango Juliet / Kilo 1 Charlie X-Ray until the end of February. Benin, that's in Africa also. Tango Yankee call sign, or prefix I should say. Call sign Tango Yankee 5 Charlie. Here's one I hadn't seen before. Antarctica. It says Denny VU2 Delta Golf Radio is operational with special call sign Alpha Tango 44 India. Alpha Tango 44 India from the Bharati Research Station at Larsaman Hills to commemorate the 44th Indian Science Expedition to the Southern Continent. Of course, Southern Sudan is also operating Zulu on X-ray. That just started today. HF using CW and some sideband. So let's see here. The contest-wise, the ARL bulletin says the January VHF contest, North American Single Sideband QSO Party, NFCC FT44 Sprint, Weekly RTTY Test, QRP 80-meter CW Walk Sun, NCC CW Sprint, goes on and on and on, Hungarian DX Contest. So there's quite a bit of activity on this weekend. Okay, I kind of brushed through that. I don't know if you can view that bulletin up on the ARL's website or not. Might only be available for members, but whatever. It's another issue. Okay, I'm going to take a standby. Does anybody need repeats for anything they heard? This is W3OC. Ready. Okay. All right. Well, let me switch it. Let's see what Newsline's got tonight. This is W3OC with Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2464 with a release date of Friday, January 17th, 2025 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. A repeater system stays robust during California's deadly wildfires. The expeditioners pursue a holy grail island in India for chasers, and shortwave ingenuity saves a ham radio program's debut. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2464 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, amateur radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG.
Our top story takes us to the U.S. state of California, where deadly wildfires have been consuming much of the Los Angeles area and beyond, destroying homes and causing electrical and cellular outages. Even as SpaceX temporarily activated the test version of its satellite-to-cellular service to help deliver emergency alerts and texts, hams were relying on the region's robust and resilient PAPA system of repeaters, as we hear from Ralph Squillace, KK6 ITB.
As wildfires whipped through the Los Angeles area, the analog repeaters of California's wide-reaching PAPA system had their nets and routine traffic communications canceled for a number of days. The repeaters were placed on standby for news and emergency traffic only, but by Tuesday, January 14th, all but 3 returned to net hosting and normal use. 3 repeaters remained off the main network to continue providing emergency coverage in the greater Los Angeles area. The PAPA system's digital repeaters, which utilize DMR, P25, and D-Star, continued to host normal traffic. Cecil Casillas, WD6FZA, president of the PAPA system, told Newsline that as of Tuesday the 14th, none of the PAPA repeaters had suffered fire-related damages. He said that flames closely threatened repeaters on Mount Wilson and at Saddle Peak, which overlooks Malibu, but the fires stopped short of affecting the buildings, antennas, or other equipment. He said the Saddle Peak repeater had been knocked out of service by an unrelated battery failure, but that the fires blocked access for anyone to bring up a generator. Meanwhile, SpaceX gave temporary access to its Starlink satellites to T-Mobile customers, even without its direct-to-cell constellation being fully completed. According to an article in PC Magazine, only T-Mobile customers with supported phones would have access to texting, but emergency alerts and evacuation notices could be received by any cellular phone. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6 ITB.
This week we have word that a rare, largely inaccessible island off the coast of India is about to be activated for only the second time, and the first time in 23 years. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, has the details.
Writing in the December 2002 issue of the Old 73 magazine, Sri VU2 SBJ called Sacrifice Rock a harsh, unwelcoming island off the coast of Kerala in southern India, a plain, solid rock in the middle of nowhere. 11 months earlier, this treacherous bit of terrain was activated for the first time by Sri and his D-Expedition team, who were challenged by its difficult access and changeable weather. No hams have been there since. That is, until now. IOTA number AS161, as it is also known, is about to become a base camp for Team AU2V, 6 amateurs who are among many to consider it a holy grail. The D-Expedition website calls it a dream come true for chasers. Sarah, VU2RS, told Newsline in an email that planning and preparation have been intense in advance of the hoped-for visit in the second week of February, when the 3-month seasonal window for access closes. The team will have 2 CW operators and 4 using SSB and digital modes, and is still working out logistics for its hours of operation. The team also continues critical fundraising via PayPal to cover what is expected to be $10,000 in expenses, covering generators, radios, antennas, and, of course, the boat that will make that challenging trip across the water to the team's destination. And if that's not possible to arrive safely by boat, the team will need to use an airplane, which will add to the costs. See the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org for the team's website and PayPal address. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
The ham radio world has lost a top DXer, a friend, and a supporter of Newsline's Young Ham of the Year Award. We hear more about him from Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
We at Amateur Radio Newsline are mourning the passing of Dennis Motzenbacher, K7BV. Dennis passed from this world on Thursday, January 9th, after a 14-year battle with cancer. He was 76. Dennis was passionate about amateur radio. He was first licensed at age 13. An avid DXer, he was equally at home on both sides of the pileup. His amateur radio travels took him to 35 countries. He competed in the World Radio Sport Team Championships in Slovenia in 2000 and won countless awards for his ham radio accomplishments. He served as a radioman for 2 years in the U.S. Navy in Vietnam on the USS Canberra. From 1976 to 2002, Dennis worked in the fire suppression industry. He was editor of the National Contest Journal from 1998 until 2002. After that, he was sales and marketing manager for the ARRL. From 2006 to his retirement in 2019, he was executive vice president of amateur radio sales at Yazoo USA. Dennis was a fixture on stage at the Huntsville Hamfest for the presentation of our Young Ham of the Year Award. Some years ago, Gigaparts did a live online TV presentation at the Huntsville Hamfest, and it was my honor as one of the hosts to spend about 20 minutes chatting with Dennis as my guest. You can find that on the Gigaparts YouTube channel or at the link in the printed edition of this week's newscast. A devoted family man, we send our love to his wife, children, and grandchildren. Rest easy, my friend. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
Are you ready for Winter Field Day? If you're in the U.S. or Canada, get your plans in order now. Travis Lisk in 3 ILS tells us more.
In North America, Winter Field Day will be held, as always, during the last full weekend of January. But there are some changes this year. This emergency preparedness test of portable equipment under harsh weather conditions has been extended past its previous 24-hour period. Clubs and individual amateurs are being encouraged to register their stations for this event, which has grown since the first Winter Field Day held in 2007. Operators are permitted to use HF, VHF, and UHF bands for CW, single sideband, and digital modes. The operating period is now 30 hours long and will begin at 1600 UTC Saturday, January 25th, and conclude at 2159 UTC the following day. Both indoor and outdoor stations are permitted, as are mobile stations, whether they be moving or stationary. For more details about the rules and to register your station, visit the Winter Field Day website at winterfieldday.org. That's winterfieldday, one word, .org. This is Travis Lisk, N3 ILS.
Students in government residential schools in rural parts of the Indian state of Karnataka can now reach out and touch the world with the help of digital mobile radio, or DMR. John Williams, VK4JJW, explains how the radios got there.
20 new DMR radio base stations are opening up the world to students in rural schools run by the state of Karnataka's Social Welfare Department. The installation was done by the Indian Institute of Hams at the request of the state. According to news reports in the Hindu and the Bangalore Mirror, science teachers and a pair of 8th grade students from a number of the schools received online training for their amateur radio licenses and then successfully sat the exam from the Ministry of Communications. The radios are designed to give the students access to scientists, researchers, and others in the amateur radio community who would normally be inaccessible from within their remote rural communities. The radios are available to be operated around the clock. Just as significantly, the radios are available so the schools can serve as emergency communication centers when disaster strikes and the remote regions are likely to be cut off from many services. The initiative is called Ham Yatra and spans the state. The Ham Institute's director, S. Satyapol, told local media. He said he hoped the radios would open a window of curiosity for the students about opportunities in the world of science. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the N06BS repeater on Thursday evenings in Los Angeles County, California.
W3OC.
The National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting in Westchester, Ohio is QRV and is about to reopen. Stephen Kinford, N8WB, brings us the details.
6 months of renovations have come to an end at the Voice of America Museum, which is reopening its doors to the public at noon on Saturday, the 25th of January. The work has created new exhibit space with room for more displays that showcase radio history in the U.S. The building formerly housed the Voice of America's Bethany Relay Station. The museum will be open every Saturday and Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. local time, but can also accommodate group tours on any day of the week if arrangements are made in advance. The Westchester Amateur Radio Association, WC8V, BOA has its headquarters in the historic building and has had uninterrupted on-the-air activity even as remodeling took place elsewhere in the interior. As visitors return, hams will be on the air and, as always, ready to welcome them. This is Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
In India, the second largest Hindu gathering, the Gangesar Mela, is presenting a variety of opportunities for DX and award scheme participation. That's because hams on DXpedition there are also involved in a public safety mission at this massive religious pilgrimage. Jim Meachins at L2BHF tells us what's happening.
Where the Ganges River and the Bay of Bengal run together, the faithful gather every year. Hams from the West Bengal Radio Club, VU2WB, have been on Saga Island since the 10th of January, operating AU2WBRC. They are there to help keep people safe as they come to worship, and they are helping visitors who get lost in the crowd reunite with their families. The Hams have another mission too, making contact with radio operators around the world. Those logging a QSO with any of the operators qualify for a number of award schemes, including Islands on the Air, which identifies Saga Island as AS-153. The location also qualifies Under the Beaches on the Air as number 60572 and World Lighthouses on the Air schemes as Lighthouse 2262. This is Jim Meachin, ZL2BHF.
Mark your calendars for January 23rd. You might just work someone in the Royal Netherlands Army Signal Regiment during a one-day special event with a very specific purpose to get the Marines in the Netherlands more involved in amateur radio. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, has the details.
Special Event Station PA25MC has a military mission, but one focused on education and friendship. On the 23rd of January, the Royal Netherlands Army Signal Regiment, PI4VBD, will be operating from various locations using military radios, some of them historical. There will also be a variety of operators. Some are experienced members of the Army, others are soldiers in training, some may even be civilian personnel. They will be calling CQ on as many HF bands as possible using SSB. The Signal Regiment itself is a well-established group that appreciates the importance of amateur radio. Last year it marked its 150th anniversary. For QSL information, see the QRZ.com page for PA25MC. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the world of DX, be listening for the call sign 5N9DTG, being used by members of the Rebel DX group. They will be on the air from Nigeria for up to 3 weeks, starting in the third week of January. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Team IG9/S51V will have several members on the air between the 19th and the 29th of January, operating with the prefix IG9 followed by their home call signs, including S56DX, S51V, S57UN, and several others. They will also be participating in the CQ Worldwide 160-meter CW contest as a multi-single entry using the team call sign IG9/S51V, all from Lampedusa, Ireland, IOTA number AF019, via the operator's home calls. See QRZ.com for additional details. Listen for OF60AP being used by members of the Central Uusimaa Radio Amateurs Association, OH2AP in Finland. The club is marking its 60th anniversary with this year-long special event. See QRZ.com for certificate and QSL details. White, D7DV, is using the call sign PG9BBV until the 28th of January from Guatemala. He is operating CW, sideband, and some FT8. Look for White on 40 through 6 meters. See his personal QRZ.com page for QSL details. There's a saying in theater that radio program weathered the storm, literally, to fulfill a promised shortwave broadcast premiere. Here's Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, with the details.
Listeners had counted on hearing the first shortwave broadcast of the DARC's amateur news program from Wolverton, England, but no one had counted on the severe storm that was bearing down on the west of England. The damage rendered 7 of the station's 35 antennas unusable, leaving the 9670 kHz broadcast imperiled as the hour for the start of the program drew near. The technical team scrambled and, on short notice, improvised. They crash-started another transmitter and a different antenna, so we were able to put the program on the air just as expected, on time and on frequency. In an announcement to listeners on Sunday the 12th of January, Radio DARC's Rainer Engler, DF2NU, thanked the Wolverton team saying, quote, "This incident shows once again that technicians help each other and do everything humanly possible," end quote. Although reception reports varied unexpectedly because of the different equipment employed, over 1,000 listeners' emails poured in praising the program. Rainer proclaimed the premiere a success. The Wolverton station had saved Radio DARC for its listeners after the closure of its previous shortwave broadcaster in Mossbrunn, Austria, had been obliged to close down. Meanwhile, the station reports that the original antennas have since been repaired and their original configuration restored. The show will indeed go on. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Have you sent in your amateur radio haiku to Newsline's Haiku Challenge yet? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. Set your thoughts down using traditional haiku format. A 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to the Amateur Radio Daily, Bangalore Mirror, Cecil Casillas, WD6FZA, David Bihar, K7DB, Facebook, 425DX News, the Hindu website, PC Magazine, QRZ.com, Radio DARC, RadioWorld.com, Sarah VU2RS, ShortwaveRadio.de, the National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting, Winter Field Day Association, Wireless Institute of Australia, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2TUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
Okay, this is W3OC. That concludes this week's Newsline transmission. I don't see it. I have any more non-country anything coming up, so just remind everybody about the Winter Field Day coming up this weekend. You can check your local radio club. If you want to come out with Two Rivers, you can. We're going to be up there at the Lincoln Borough Volunteer Fire Department. Starting probably around, well, the thing starts at 11 a.m., I believe. You're welcome to come out there and join us for that, or go to your local radio club, too. Let's see, what else do we got here? And, of course, the Two Rivers Hamfest, April 6th, up there at Lincoln Borough Volunteer Fire Department. Let's see. Okay, I'll take some late check-ins. Anyone else like check-in has done so, call now.
Net control, please copy Kilo Charlie 3 Sierra Uniform Lima. Fall over here in Pleasant Hill. No comment, no traffic.
W3OC, please copy Kilo Charlie 3 India Romeo Foxtrot. Bob over here in Overbrook.
Okay, got Kilo Charlie 3 Sugar Uniform Lima and Kilo Charlie 3 India Radio Fox. Just out of curiosity, anybody else on Echolink?
This is Kilo Charlie 3 Zulu India X-Ray. This is Jeff. I'm not sure you two picked me up the first time around.
all for taking the time to check them this evening. And everybody have a good week, and maybe we'll catch some of you on the Order Field Day. Look for W3OC. I'll be one of the many, hopefully one of the many operators over here for that. And with that, we're going to repeat it back to John Amateur. It's W3OC, also known as W3ON. Good night.